Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm Will Mathewson, one of the hosts of the Cabbage and Shame music podcast. Find us on all your favourite podcast streaming platforms. But tonight, I'm hosting LimbicTV, which is really exciting. We here at LimbicTV run on your donations, so please donate anything you can at limbictv.com. Any money that we raise will be split between the band and the crew. Tonight, we have Edinburgh's very own, possibly only, family-friendly I forgot what it is. Post-gutter-skunk-funk band, Bikini Body. This is actually particularly exciting for me, not just because I am here to witness live music again, like 8 months after we started this whole Mama Jamma, but actually the last gig that I went to before lockdown was to see this very band we have this evening, Bikini Body. Welcome, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
How are you? Everyone well?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Are you well?
I am well. My heart is absolutely racing.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Let's hope I continue the theme. I've read that a lot of artists have been really struggling with writer's block under lockdown, with just complete lack of inspiration and particularly stimulus coming through. Have you guys found that as we've been, undergoing lockdown, or have you managed to find inspiration in like new and exciting places?
Yeah, I mean, definitely my lyrics have taken a turn for the absurd for lack of real life experiences. But I think we've when we've been able to practice, we have come up with some new stuff that we're really excited about. We're going to play today as well. So yeah, it's not been too bad. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
That's the best you can really say about this situation, right?
This whole year is, well, it could have been worse, and then it typically has got worse.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I think it feels like about as much one can hope for in this particular context. I'm really looking forward to hearing your new music. I have to admit, I've been blasting the tunes a lot throughout. Have you guys? One of the big things, particularly that like the government have been saying to us under lockdown is, if you're struggling, find solace in, your favorite films, your favorite telly, your favorite music. Turn up the radio when you're listening to it and really give yourself an extra buzz. Have you guys found any new found artists that old favorite artists that you've drawn inspiration from, or have you found new artists that you think, wow, they're doing something really cool? I'd love if we could incorporate that into our sound a bit more as well.
I mean, me and Kyle have been listening to a hell of a lot of the Cool Greenhouse, who we were speaking about earlier. I think to the point they've ended up in our full fans of on Spotify, which I'm sure is just me and Kyle listening to that, and the algorithm's caught up. So hell of a lot of those guys.
Yeah, I had to make a playlist during lockdown called easing anxiety and just really calming music on it. I don't know, calming electronic music like Boards of Canada, and I just try to sit there and be like, oh, it's okay. That was good.
I think there's been a lot of people who've been listening to that kind of music and just sitting there going,
Yeah.
trying desperately to keep it all in.
Yeah.
I was until I started cycling. Anyway, I'm just sitting in the flat going, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's only for a month, he says 7 months later. The Cool Greenhouse. I've also been persistently listening to the Cool Greenhouse. Listen to our latest Spotify episode, or our latest podcast episodes, where we also talk a lot about the Cool Greenhouse. They actually texted me and said they liked it. I've achieved all my hopes and dreams for this podcast. We will make a new episode, probably, but
I can vouch for the podcast. It's
Yeah,
sick. I
it's
like
really
it a lot.
good.
I'm actually really glad to have positive feedback from someone who isn't, or who aren't my close friends,
Yeah.
who have a vested interest in saying that they really enjoy it.
Yeah, that was great, yeah.
So I'm actually really grateful that there's positive feedback on that one. I had another question that's completely gone out of my mind. You released your debut EP, Pond Life, in early February. Unfortunately, I missed coming and see the EP release show in Sneaky
We forgive
Pete's. That's fortunate. I blame Nathan. He's 3,000 miles away. He can take the blame. I won't face anything for it. Have you found that, because releasing an EP is not only a big thing, but it's also a good way to drive your presence and sort of you use that, typically, you release an album and then you tour the hell out of it, and then that's part of your A, how you make money as a band, but also B, how you then drive hype, get people talking about your records, and hopefully gain new fans. Obviously, you released it about a month and a half before we went into lockdown. Have you found that it's been difficult to like try and maintain that momentum that has been otherwise robbed of you? Have you had to like rethink how you want to go about being, like how you want to go about becoming a bigger band and getting into those places? I mean, I know that Skinny and Loaf have been big advocates of your sound, but those are both Edinburgh institutions, so they're both Edinburgh publications, so it's quite difficult. Have you found it difficult to then break out of like the sort of central belt mold and like get to a large audience, or have you been steadily plowing away regardless?
Yeah.
We've definitely had to rethink some things, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's like we were booked for like a couple of festivals that those like obviously fell through, and then just having to sort of think about how can we like keep momentum going and stay on track.
It was very frustrating when we weren't able to even practice, because it was just like, what do we do then? Being able to come back to practice has really helped. I think we've been really lucky in that we've still had like a trickle of people who've been asking us to do gigs when they eventually come back, and to do live streams and stuff, which has really helped. But I don't think anyone can say that this hasn't harmed their trajectory.
Yeah. I mean, given the number of venues who are all crowdfunding madly to try and stay open so that when we get back to it, you know, we can actually go and have those gigs again. It's been, well, madness. So I look forward to when the government finally sorts its shit out and starts supporting the arts industry. A man can dream. I have to admit that I slightly labelled you at that point and said, you know, considering yourself an Edinburgh or a Central Belt band, it's not quite a tangential question, but it's perhaps an overly brainy question. Do you think being an Edinburgh band, like an Edinburgh-based band, has helped or hindered you? Because obviously Edinburgh has a lot of really good small venues. You know, we've got Henry Cellar Bar, we've got Sneaky Pete's, The Caves, you name it. But Edinburgh doesn't really have, like, apart from maybe Summerhall, Edinburgh doesn't really have those sort of slightly, like, the next level venues that Glasgow has with, like, you know, WG3C3, the Barrows Arts, I get them there. The Barrows Arts Centre, Stereo. Do you think that it's great that we've got those starting blocks in Edinburgh? Do you think that's actually not as helpful, that there's not the next step and you actually have to, you know, get on the train over to go and do anything bigger?
I think it might have helped us cut through the noise being in Edinburgh, actually, just by way of it being a kind of smaller, more tight-knit scene than, say, somewhere like Glasgow. I think we were able to, like, you know, play, like, headline sneakies quite quickly compared to if we were trying to do that at the same kind of level or, like, status of a venue in Glasgow. So I think it has kind of helped us just make a bit of a name for ourselves here a lot quicker than if we were somewhere where there's, like, more competition for those same kind of spots.
And Glasgow's been welcoming to us, and we love getting on the train to go to Glasgow. There's no problem with that. And, you know, hopefully in the future we do get more venues of that kind of size in Edinburgh. And I guess that's only going to happen if there's more bands playing there and, you know, becoming bigger. So
I wonder whether it's an interesting one, whether, you know, more bands leads to more venue spaces, or whether there's just more bands and they just go to the venue spaces. Because, you know, we could have 100 bands in Edinburgh who all are getting to the point where they're, you know, outgrowing Sneakies, for instance, and they need to get to somewhere in Glasgow, whether they'll just say, like, well, fuck it, let's just go to Glasgow then, because it's not exactly far away to drive over to Glasgow with a car full of kit. So I wonder whether, I mean, apart from Summerhall is probably the only one that we've got that's like of a comparable size, and well, they've been pretty hard hit by what's going on just now. So fingers crossed for you guys. I have to admit that despite being an Edinburgh band as you are, I don't actually think of your sound as being like a very sort of, I don't really think of it being a very Scottish sound, which admittedly most of you aren't Scots.
None of us, in fact.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me as well.
Kyle is the most Scottish, and he's from America, so
I think Scottish accent.
Yeah, I actually am really struggling to understand it for how thick it is. Yeah. I have to admit that I think a lot more of your sound really reminds me a lot more of things like southern, like London bands, particularly. Like, obviously, you draw quite a lot of inspiration from Dry Cleaning between like your vocal delivery, but then obviously you've got a lot more. I mean, the Gang of Four is quite a present inspiration, especially in your bass lines and the way that the bass is lifted a lot higher in the mix, as opposed to just like a standard guitar band. but these are obviously all, these are all English bands, and it wouldn't be uncommon, I think, were you not an Edinburgh band, were you in fact in London, that you might be more readily known on the stage at the Windmill. Do you think that with Glasgow having a very punk-heavy scene as opposed to a sort of more like post-punk guitar band style, do you think that's like influenced what you make and seeing in like the other bands who are, gigging with you, opening for you, opening with you? Do you think that's changed how you approach your sound, or do you think you still draw more, like in an age of streaming where we can just listen to whatever we want, whenever we want, it means you can just draw your inspirations from wherever you feel like rather than what's happening around you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're ever paying particular attention to it, although I'm sure subconsciously stuff like that does seep in. I definitely get the comparison to southern bands because I am in fact from the southeast, so my accent kind of gives it away. Yeah. But no, I think we're just trying to do something. Sometimes it sounds more punky, sometimes it sounds a little more poppy maybe, or indie, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not something we really think about too much of what audience we're playing to. Maybe that's a problem, but I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're making the music for yourself.
Yeah,
and if people like it along the way, then quit it.
Yeah.
Buy their music on Bandcamp. Bandcamp Friday coming up soon.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I personally really like making music in a smaller scene like this too, because, well, I'd like to believe if we were a London band, we would be playing things like the Windmill. I think it's such a vast, like, community of bands in cities like that I think it's kind of hard to get noticed at times, and I think Edinburgh has been so, like, just welcoming from the beginning, and, like, for me, like, kind of my stretch goal in this band was to play Sneaky Pete's, like, to open it, and then we found that they were just so nice there that you can play it, like, pretty early on, which was a shock to me. Especially, like, I came from Seattle before this, and it's just that I really struggled to, like, get gigs there that were, I guess, considered, like, good or big, because there was so many bands, it was kind of hard to, like, stand out there. But yeah, I've enjoyed the small scene for that reason, I think.
Yeah, I think it's one of those classic things that people sort of assume that, like, these small venues, or like a famous venue, and that, Sneaky Pete's is a core part of the music scene in Edinburgh. It's part of the fabric, has been for like 30 years. Even my dad was saying that he used to know of Sneaks when he lived in Edinburgh. God knows how long ago. I have to admit, he was mostly laughing at the name. I love it. I feel like I have to ingratiate myself as I'm going along. Apparently I'm a music journalist now. News to me. I was a software engineer yesterday. Now I'm a music journalist. I think it's a funny thing, because at the end of the day, we're all here because we're really passionate about music. And so, you kind of say, like, it's a famous venue. It's like, I think for a lot of independent bands, it's kind of the same equivalent of playing, like, the Barrowlands over in Glasgow. I'm going to keep making Scottish references because they're the only references I have right now. But at the end of the day, like Nick, the promoter, the owner of Sneaky Pete's, is always, he wants to nurture that talent. He wants to see it come through. Yeah. You can link it back to things like Bob Lane of Fast Product back in the day, Postcards, Factory, all at the beginning of the actual post-punk movement. The people are still just, the people who are actually starting these things and making things happen are doing it for a love of music.
Yeah, definitely.
So if they've got a new band that's exciting, such as Bikini Body, they'll get them slots. We'll get you playing.
That's great.
Well, I have my customary tin of tenants, and I actually have my gig shoes on. I am so ready for this. I think, should we get down to it? Should we actually crack on with the music?
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
Marvelous. What have we got first?
First up is Jazzy Boy, so that's on the EP. It's not the first one on the EP, but yeah, it's on the EP. And then, we've got a whole host of ones that you might know, and then some new stuff as well, so really excited for it.
Well, I'm very excited for new music, just generally, but also particularly new Bikini Body music.
Yeah.
So should we get down to it? I think have you got to get yourself sorted in there?
Yeah. I will just put this to the side.
Do I have to? I'll get like sort of hold music. Dun, dun, dun,
Elevator
dun,
music,
dun.
please.
Yeah, I'll hold. Just please hold. We need one of these little technical assistants. Like, we're having technical difficulties. Please hold as we fix these things.
I'm just going to put on a bit more clothing so it's chillier in here.
Put it away! It's kind of weird seeing the whole band and then you behind a plaster screen.
Yeah, especially when I'm dressing.
Clearly this is like the Go-Go Girls. I suppose actually your outfit suits that. Right. It's coming, I think it's the speaker in front of you, pal. Oh, it actually wasn't on. Now we're just looking like this.
Alright. Are we good?
I'm good.
Hit it.
Is Vicky good?
My back.
That's alright, don't
Yeah,
worry
I'm
about it.
ready.
I can just sit in the middle and bop along. Sit in your chair next to the tenants.
Saw you the other night. I wasn't sure how you felt. Boyfriend lives up to the fight.
It's so strange not hearing it. Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Right. I have live music here. This is fucking awesome. I can't tell you how excited for this I've been.
You've got front row as well.
I've got front row. I've got fucking deafening row. I probably should have worn plugs for this. I think really. I'm just gonna be sitting here. I'm gonna have my ears ringing for days, and I'm fine with this. That's okay. I can live with that. I can get through it. Right, should we crack? I feel like I should have more things to talk about in the middle, and sort of like make polite humour and sort of say like, oh yeah, so we've got the snake band. They're coming in. They're gonna talk about the snake. But unfortunately, I don't actually have that kind of pattern down just yet. We're still working on it. Day one of music journalism. Yeah, really excited.
Doing great.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. This is the day one of school. I'll try not to go home in tears. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Nice. I can't actually see from here. The lights are actually. I can't read what it says on the thing. Da, da.
It's Young Dad.
That made it a lot easier to read.
Yeah.
Right, Bikini Body with Young Dad. Marvellous.
I sound so angry in this booth. It's like I've gone into this booth just to scream at the world.
That's actually your punk echo chamber in there. If you need to get it out now. I'd like to also remind our watchers at home, please, if you can donate. I'm making arm gestures. I'm not even on the screen. If you can spare any money, please do donate to LimbicTV. The link is on the screen just now. It's LimbicTV.com. Please give whatever you can so that we can keep bringing you more and more of these gigs, because I need more of these gigs. Just saying, I need more of this. I'll try and think of more questions during the next one, and then we can have like a mini interview as we're going along. It's even more exciting that way, doesn't it? I mean, it basically gives you front and center stage, Vicky, because none of the others. I guess you're all masked up. You can't really.
I have power in the booth.
Fire in the booth. Magic. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to make Radio 1 references. Okay, let's crack on. Take it away, Late Bloomer. Or don't take it away. In your own time, team. just me this time. I never expected to hear that as a slow jam. But I reckon it works. Like if you just slow dancing, not really, it's one of those classic things like, you know, when you listen to songs, and you're not really paying attention to the lyrics until suddenly it just hits you that they're singing about something completely different from what you thought about. I just picture some people in like, in a club somewhere just really slow dancing along to like, oh yeah, I'm really immature.
We're available for proms and weddings. Well, so you have to we have to be part of the 20 people at your wedding though. So.
Funny enough, my neighbours actually worth it. My neighbours actually got married today, so.
Oh, they missed out, missed a trick.
Well, they said, oh, we'll have a glass of champagne afterwards. I'm like, I'm at a gig. A gig. It's lockdown.
This next song's dedicated to Will's neighbours.
Hi, Megan.
Watching.
If Megan and Owen are watching, that's really great. Hi, team. There's some surprises for you tomorrow. They're currently sitting in water on the kitchen table. Marvelous. I can't read from the next one. Oh yeah. Well, what an appropriate song.
Indeed.
What an appropriate song for a post-pandemic world.
Did not think that would be the meaning when I first wrote this song.
Yeah, well, you know, Delta 5 are looking down on you.
That's true.
Okay, so in the spirit of lockdown, it's hands off.
It's weird that we didn't go viral with all that, but
Hey, viral.
There's still a chance.
I don't get it.
The shirt is coming off. Oh, it's getting serious.
Business time.
Business time. I've got to avoid resisting. I've got to resist talking about like the business socks. I do actually. I've thought of another question. I'm feeling really proud about myself. Mainly because I can see the running order from where I am, and I have that advantage. Obviously, we talked about inspiration for writing new music, which you've also expressed you have achieved. I can see it's literally on the running order. Is there new music coming to all our favourite streaming platforms soon? I don't want to tie you down and say like when's it happening, because I'm about to listen to it. But is there anything coming soon, or is it sort of like still in the works?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know exactly what's going to happen with the restrictions, but we are hoping to get something recorded before the end of the year. Hopefully. We'll see how it goes.
Well, that's a sufficiently dodgy question. Dodgy answers, like hopefully.
Yes, keeping it vague. I want to set expectations well.
Hopefully this year, but could also be next year.
Yeah.
That's basically what the CEO said about us going back into the office. So I'm quite used. That feels like basically the answer to pretty much every question this year is hopefully this year.
We're pushing to do it this year, so yeah.
I mean, the number of gig tickets, they're like hopefully this year, actually next year.
Yeah.
I've got a fistful of them, but more excitingly, time for some new music. Shall we have some new music? I can't actually read what it is from here. I'm not even going to try it because fuck it. I'll leave it up to you, Doc.
It's Chivas Dunhill's Coke.
Well, that was easy.
The world premiere.
Oh boy, on LimbicTV.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Coming to you live from LimbicTV in the AluhpaSonics Edinburgh. Bikini Body.
Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Don't tell me you're the kind of bloke to stop and stare, to pull my hair mid-intercourse. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. He's got a voice that pours Chivas down my spine. But when we get down to it, he tastes more like barefoot wine. Yeah, you can treat me like the blonde from Paris, Texas. Get lost in the desert so you don't have to call your exes. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Placate me, daddy. That's what I'm looking for. Shame it seems sadly you've learned somewhere. All girls are just for sport. Reckon he's the kind of bloke, you know the one. Go back to his place, your feet in his lap, put on some records. He'll have a wank about it later. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Dunhill's Coke. Beat me up, soft boy. Come on, beat me up, soft boy. Who's gonna save us from our running mouths of bad blood? Who's gonna save us from our running mouths of bad blood? Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Blinded by the lights of that strobe you bought last week. Rifling through the ashtray for a filter. Waiting on that girl to leave so you don't have to jilt her. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Pontification. Time to swat up. Quick Google of the beats before breeze. That will have Arabella on her knees. In no time at all. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Just because you didn't brush your teeth today doesn't make you Ernest Hemingway. Just because you didn't brush your teeth today doesn't make you Ernest Hemingway. Chivas Dunhill's Coke. Thank you.
I actually got the latency right on the hand clapping, because otherwise I start clapping and it takes a little second for the crew to come in. I just a low clap before everyone else comes in. I won't spoil on them. I have to admit, I mean I've listened to EP quite a lot. That's not the admission. The admission is that I always feel like I'm just on the verge of being personally attacked by many of your songs.
Yes.
That one less so, because I don't smoke. This next one, more so, because, well, people can hear my voice. And actually, I have to admit, I don't know whether they're watching, so I won't name them, but I always feel slightly like I know the person you're singing about. with this next track. Just as I've learnt where our overlapping friend groups are. I won't name
I'd
them.
like to say it's more a reflection of myself than anybody else, just to cover my arse there.
Well, that's fortunate. I didn't say who I thought it was then. Right. Well, in the next personal attack, so posh.
Difficult because I'm like grooving too much and then I forget I have to do the bit at the end. So I'm like, oh, I'm so much.
You just get like a little looper pedal and just hit it when you get to that final stage. You can bop along. If you get the dance move just right, you can hit it as the final step. Just have a so posh in there. I not to say that you don't all play great music, but actually I really love the drumming track on that one. I can tell because I can see because you were like very closely watching the drums as you were doing the opening lines. Like, this is clearly not the easiest of drum tracks. I'm not a musician. I'm a terrible.
I always think it looks like Dan wants to fight his drum kit.
Yeah, I'm happy playing. No, I appreciate that. I mean, honestly, for anyone that was actually reasonably well versed in drums, it's not that hard.
Well, that shows how little versing I have in drums.
But, I mean, I have to concentrate quite hard on it, so it reflects more on me than you.
Dan is extremely humble, we should just say.
Well, either way, it shows because that's a cracking drum. That's a cracking drum track. I appreciate the defense of your own bat. He's actually a really humble guy. We actually really love him. Please don't go.
How do you feel for you drumming with the mask situation? Because it's getting hot in here.
Well, I don't know.
Are you doing
as
all
I said
right?
earlier, like, I am very warm.
Yeah.
And as gross as this is, it's catching most of my sweat. So I actually don't feel that sweaty, which makes a change.
I guess technically it's better for like coronavirus that's being caught in the mask.
Yeah.
It's less likely to drip. I mean, it's slightly less work for then having to like
Yeah.
clean the drum set, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to have to wash this mask. But that falls to me.
Please wash your masks. People listening, please wash your masks frequently. There's a pandemic. Get with the picture.
Ready?
Everyone ready? I don't know why I'm announcing it. It's your music.
We're all in the room. Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crack on.
Only time you talk to me is when you're fucking wasted. Want me to know you own me? Guess I'll fill in the emotional blanks. Only time you talk to me is when you're fucking wasted. Want me to know you own me? Guess I'll fill in the emotional blanks. Manny Sonderlee? It's not you that I fear. It's myself and my propensity to succumb to my own vanity. And that's what I tell myself when I'm feeling lower than dirt. When I'm dusting off the hurt, returning to the shelf. Picking myself up off the carpet that you pulled from under my feet. It's a shame that when I was with you, I didn't keep the receipts. Manny Sonderlee? Manny Sonderlee? Manny Sonderlee? You're floating. We're at zero moral gravity. Prisoner's dilemma. Confess, cooperate, compete. You're a parasite. You're a parasite delight. And you're feeding on my plight. Virtual morality. Manny Sonderlee. Manny Sonderlee. Manny Sonderlee. Man with a big man. Because you acted without remorse. Man with a big man. Because I was made to believe I was. Man with a big man. Right with a big frog. Cool, calm, collected. No fight in the brain, defected. Manny Sonderlee. Manny Sonderlee. Manny Sonderlee. Manny Sonderlee. Manny Sonderlee. It's not you that I fear. It's not you that I fear anymore. Anymore.
We'll get there. There we go. I have to admit, I've actually got a text from a friend of mine who is watching the stream. Thanks for watching, Sophie. But she says she's really enjoying the stream, which is great.
Thanks, Sophie. We love you.
There you go. And also Daniel, who I assume is watching it with her. But she's asked when she's going to see my Bikini Body. So please sign up to my OnlyFans, and you can watch it later this evening. Marvellous. Yeah, we'll just blitz straight past that one. Oh, we've got some comments down. I don't know if you can see it on the screen just in front of you. We've got some comments. We've got
Sky McNeil.
whoop, whoop.
Hello. Thank you for the fingers. That was a bad
Phrasing.
phrase.
Absolute tune. Oh, hey Nathan.
Nathan. Hello.
For those not in the know, that is the other host of the Cabbage and Shame podcast. Find us on all your favourite providers. We make tunes, maybe. Marvellous. Well, this...
Harry, we love you. Producer of the EP, an all-around legend.
An absolute classic.
He is an absolute classique himself.
We're actually here to pass judgment.
He played percussion at our first 2 gigs.
Huh?
Yeah, he played the.
Oh yes, yeah. He's
clave.
he's the 5th member of the band temporarily. Thanks, Harry.
I have to admit, I say I have to admit a lot. I'm probably saying this too often. Anyway, this next track, we would actually regularly use the chorus of, back before Nathan got deported. Lol. We'd wander around the flat when we weren't at work, and we just bump into one. Although just say, Ryan's going, oh, all right, just go, fuck you, Georgie Weaver. Just like wandering to each other's rooms, and go, hey, fuck you, Georgie Weaver. So anyway, Georgie Weaver.
All right, it's me.
Yeah, probably.
Keep doing that.
Fuck you, Georgie Weaver! Fuck you, Georgie Weaver! Fuck you, Georgie Weaver! Fuck you, Georgie Weaver! Why you approach me in the street? Why you try and touch my hand? Don't fucking touch me!
anyone's wondering, like, how to make a hit song, step 0 should always be cowbell.
Not one, but two.
At least one. Oh yeah, Nathan has written in to say he wasn't actually deported, he left willingly after his visa expired. That sounds an awful lot like deportation, but with fewer steps. So we'll stick with it. I have more questions.
Thank you, Sky.
That's good, because the one after this is also really demanding. So
Well, I'll give you a break. I'll give you a breather.
Thank you.
It's actually thought the lyric.
Do you know what? That's a better title, to be honest.
Alistair, you could have just changed the name of the song, man.
Oh, Hazza, thank you.
Gary, we need you to play the cowbell on that. We really need you.
Or anything else, any other percussion that you choose.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you had it in hand. It's gonna be a lot easier with a studio, though. You can just lay down the track and then come back. But I have another question, to give us more time to just chill out. How did you actually pick your name? It's like, you know, one of the great questions of, you know, what is in a name? How did you pick it?
It's almost like you're trying to segue into the last song, Will. Nicely done.
That was so professional. I can't believe you completely cut through me now. I was going to just add that as a little afterthought.
So the name comes from the Daily Mail.
How funny.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, they just use so many hilarious terms. I just decided, because we were really struggling, I was like, you know what? In my hour of need, I turned to the Daily Mail for inspiration, and I don't have any shame about that. And so we were looking through the showbiz section, naturally, and things like leggy display sort of popped out, and Bikini Body, ample breasts, that kind of thing. Ample breasts might not have been my first choice for the band name. We decided to go with Bikini Body because it was alliterative, and yeah, sounded all right. And also, the Bikini Body is what you make of it, really.
I still reckon leggy display would have worked.
Yeah, leggy display is a good one.
You and I wanted to call it like man-sized badger.
Yeah, man-sized badger was one of them.
That's good we didn't do that.
Molar snack.
No molar snack.
Yeah. My personal favourite, Segway. Spelt two different ways.
That would have been appropriate with that segue I just tried to pull off.
Exactly.
One day I was like, oh, we should be called Living Wage.
Oh my god.
Just like shitty idols.
We're nowhere near political enough for that.
Also, if you were the living wage, you'd never be enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
Political commentary. Thank you. Don't worry, we'll have a spin-off from Cabbage and Shame eventually, which is just Nathan like going on about being political about something. Well, I'm going to try and cut more of those out of future episodes. It's getting a bit too much, I think. Well, funny. I should also mention that in your time of need, typically you shouldn't turn to the Daily Mail. Like, there's better places to turn to in your time of not you for inspiration.
Yes, I think just to clarify, in times of my writing needs, I turn to the Daily Mail because it is larger than life. But yes, for your actual needs, very much the last place you should go.
Please seek help.
Yeah.
If you're reading the Daily Mail, that is already cause to seek help.
Yes.
Unless for the irony.
Yeah, well.
I'll stop. But appropriately, here's the Daily Mail. If you had enough time to relax.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Are you okay?
I've had my recovery.
You've had your swig.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's crack on then.
Rolling tobacco and half a pint of milk.
magic. I'm actually gonna hold on. I'm gonna move into shot for this because am I about 2 meters? That feels like 2 meters. Oh, shit. There we go. That feels about 2 meters. Unfortunately, where is the camera? Is it that one? Am I there? oh, right, okay. Yeah, just put Vicky over my head. There we go. Unfortunately, that's all we've got for this evening. Bandcamp Friday is the first Friday of every month. The next one I think is the 5th of November. There's a link on the screen below me. Please, I mean, hell, go and check it out now, obviously. But the first Friday of every month, Bandcamp waive their fees, and more of the money that you spend on Bandcamp will go to the artist. So please, when Bandcamp Friday rolls around, consider supporting Bikini Body. Pretty please. I've actually already supported them, so.
Buy it again.
When you put it on wax. I'm going to absolve.
Mention there's a bonus track on Bandcamp too that not many people know about.
You have to buy it to find it.
There it is. I put it there. I don't know if I
Well, I'm going to go and find this later. Yeah, I'm just going to absolve myself of guilt for that one. Speaking of Bandcamp Friday, as I mentioned at the start and in the middle, LimbicTV is run on donations. If you have the means and you have the money, please donate to us. The link is LimbicTV.com. Please give as much as you can. It'll be split between the band and the crew, and it means that we can put more of these shows on in the future, which we obviously want to, because music is the best. I have been, apparently, Will Mathewson. I think I still am. Will Mathewson, Cabbage and Shame. Check us out. Podcast. Self-promotion. This has been
Shameless.
Shameless.
Cabbage and shameless.
Hey, you got there in the end. Okay, marvellous. We managed to pull through. This has been my first outing as a music journalist. Maybe I'll get a second outing. We'll see how the waters have been tested. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much to the crew for doing all this fantastic work.
Thank you, crew.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Will.
Yes. Will as well.
I say this waving a mask around. That's not what I'm supposed to do in a pandemic. Actually, I have to admit, I really enjoyed having the Daily Mail being so faded in over the camera.
Yeah, that was sick. Thank you to whoever thought that up.
I think if that was Ali in the studio. I don't know who it was, but keep it up. Thank you very much for joining us. The next one is, I think, on the 31st. Someone got a thumbs up, thumbs down me? Oh.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Join us next Tuesday, right here on, I say right here, on the LimbicTV YouTube channel. We have more music. Come back, enjoy what you enjoy. It's on the screen now. That's a lot easier than me having to remember what it is. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again next time. And have a delightful weekend. So long. Bye.